Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Thanks for being with us tonight. We got a fun show planned for you guys, and we can't wait to talk all things Star Wars with you guys. But Wesa back, and it's time to hit the rundown like Jar Jar hit the pit droid on the nose. We got question of the week, special guest time with Jar Jar. I'm so excited. Holonet news, including the hunt for Ben Solo makes Times Square. And we'll finish the night off, if we have time, with a game time. But speaking of games and Gungans, let's meet tonight's crew. First, we have the goofy Gungan pilot, Dan. What's up, Dan?
I'm doing great. I got my Andor blaster, so it doesn't really fit the Gungan, but yeah, I'm Misa super excited. I don't know. That's as good as I got. I don't know how to speak Gungan. Somebody else probably does.
Yeah, I know. It's like we've never spoke it before at all. And next up, we have the fearsome female Gungan, the fact checker. What's up, fact checker?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. This is going to be fun. I'm not speaking Gungan.
Oh, come on. I thought you had to say something. Gungan. Boo.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I failed
goodness.
you.
It's okay.
You have failed me. All right. And the one that you all have been waiting for, Jar Jar Jargon. What's up, Joe? Thanks for being on the channel.
What's going on? That was crazy, that intro.
Do you like that?
Pulled a lot of footage there. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible. It's possible, but you got a lot of depth on your channel,
A lot of depth.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos. It goes back a few years now. Yeah.
It's great.
Awesome.
It's all great content. So thank you, Joe, for being on the show with us tonight. We're excited to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to talk to you guys. I'm always looking to talk with other Star Wars fans on YouTube. So, I've been on a few channels, and I'm happy to be on this one tonight for sure.
Awesome. Well, I hope it lives up to some of the other channels you've been on. It might be a little different, but hopefully we'll have fun at least.
Hey, different's good. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, we're going to keep moving here. We got lots to get into. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us, because with all of us together, we can make Star Wars
Butter.
And by butter, I mean better if you're new here. So, but that's just a thing that's happened on our channel for a while now. So thanks for being with us tonight. We're pumped and excited to get into things. Speaking of starting things off, we're going to jump right into the question of the week.
Can you speak Bocce?
Of course I can, sir. It's like a second language to me. I'm as
All right,
fluent in-
shut up. I'll take this.
Shut up, sir.
Luke!
And the question of the week, in honor of Jar Jar Jargon being here with us tonight. Do you think Jar Jar could defeat Thrawn? That is the question of the week this week.
Wow.
I know. It's a question. But it's kind of sounds like a sleeper.
Yeah.
But we've seen Jar Jar do some pretty incredible things.
Yeah.
Mostly by happenstance and accident. So I'm just saying, there's a possibility, but let's go around the room. Dan, what about you? We'll start with you. We'll let Joe collect his thoughts there for a second.
Can you clarify defeat? But
Is it hand to hand?
is it hand to hand?
You know what? I left it open for a reason.
From a naval perspective, I don't think Jar Jar would even get within a long distance of Thrawn to destroy him.
Right?
But then again, Ezra did, and Rebels, they snuck in and tried to steal back wasn't it Ezra and was it, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
but
Ezra.
they were watching him train. They were that close and he didn't
Right.
even know, although he knew, but he didn't know, So
Yeah,
it's
good point.
It's possible that Jar Jar could completely go undercover and completely baffle Thrawn, but the answer is emphatically no. He cannot.
Okay,
So,
yeah, that is your answer.
that's my answer. No, he's not going to beat him ever on any plane, train, or automobile.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. What about you, fact checker? Have you had enough time to think about this? What do you think? Do you
Well-
think you could beat him?
Actually, Matt Risman in the chat has a good question.
What's up,
Which Thrawn? Old age potbelly Ahsoka Thrawn? Or the other Thrawn?
That's a great point. You mean dad bod Thrawn
Yeah.
or like Rebels Thrawn?
I think it's just, I don't know. Fact checkers, I think she's distracting. She doesn't
Yeah,
want to.
You don't want to answer the question. That's what it is. You're dodging the question, fact checker.
Yeah, of
Answer the
course.
dang
I'm just
question.
kidding.
Whoa, whoa.
I'm sorry.
Any of them,
I
probably.
think, yeah, I think he could.
You think Jar Jar could
What?
beat?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. So we got 1-1. Scores of 1-1.
Okay.
All right. Joe, have you had enough time to think about that?
Yeah, there's no way that Jar Jar could defeat Thrawn without it being an accident. Like you said, I mean, it would have to be. I could see it happening, but it would just be because he didn't know he was doing it. Like when he brought down the entire Republic, obviously, he just didn't know he was doing it. So
Yeah. That's a great
yeah,
answer.
it could happen, but it won't.
It won't. Okay. Yeah.
Thrawn's
so-
smarter than that.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's so many caveats to it. It really just depends on the situation. And
Mhm.
the only thing I'll say is that Jar Jar is so unpredictable just as a being. Whereas with Thrawn being such a tactician,
Yeah.
like, unless he was able to study his art or Gungan art, but even Jar Jar didn't even fit in with the Gungans. So there's the wild card option. So I do feel like in a very rare circumstance, like to your point, he might be just because it's so off the wall. And maybe if they wrote plot armor for him, that would probably be one of the only two cases where he could win. But otherwise, you know, out of 100, Thrawn's going to win. 98 out of 100 times. Math is not my strong suit. But yeah, no, those are great answers. Great answers. And
The chat has some great
I know,
answers,
that's what I was
too.
going to say. Well, we didn't even introduce the chat. I totally
is the time.
went right into it. So who is with us tonight?
out.
Fact checker in the chat.
Oh yeah, got a great crew, and yeah, like you said, lots of good answers coming in. Skylark is helping moderate in the chat, which is awesome.
Thank you, Skylar.
And she said
Butter.
to me, answer. She was saying the same thing as KG. And so yeah, KG is also here,
Yes.
thinking he could accidentally. Jar Jar could
Yeah.
defeat him accidentally.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
It's just funny that there is a possibility. I mean, that's why I thought of the question, because I was like, the crazy thing is there's actually a possibility.
Mhm.
Just because it's so random.
Yeah, absolutely. So it counts. That's why.
Well, because the only
think
way
you
you could
could.
beat Thrawn is with an unknown quantity. I mean, that's the
Mhm.
only way that Ezra was able to defeat Thrawn was because he had an unknown quantity.
Mhm.
That's the only
Mhm,
thing.
mhm.
And even
sense.
that, you're kind of like, I still kind of feel like he could have figured it out and beat him. But
Mhm.
yeah.
for sure. Okay, well, let me.
Sorry,
rattle
yeah,
off
keep
a
going.
Few Gonkers hanging out. We've got Hunter Davis is in the chat.
What's up,
What's up, Hunter?
Starman's hanging out. Sonia is
Starman.
here. KG also keeping it lively.
Oh, yeah.
I've said Matt.
Yeah.
Matt Risman's
already.
here. The Moth.
Yep, we've got Descendants and John McCarter.
What's up,
hanging out.
He
Descendants?
said, "What's up, Jar Jar Jargon?" He said.
Yeah,
Nice.
And
What's
then
going on?
Tony Hernandez is here.
What's up, Tony? Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
What's up, Tony?
and
Let's go.
Let's see, I know I saw another name. Bit
So many
unfamiliar.
names.
Let me. Oh,
Loving it.
Oscar. He's familiar.
Yep,
Oscar.
Oscar. I got
Hola.
Clark. This is where the fun
Thank you.
begins.
This is where the
Yes.
fun begins. I like it.
Yeah,
yes.
I love it.
Try spinning. That's a neat trick.
That's always a neat trick.
Carla's here. Tamerkins, of course, is here.
Jar
She
Jar
was-
Jargon.
Oh, man. It's like Inception.
Yeah, Jar Jar. Yeah, Jargon is here.
Clark's here.
Yeah.
Everybody's loving the intro.
Yes. So
Buttery.
okay, we might have some lurkers. Oh, Bismo just jumped in. Good to see you, Bismo.
What's up, Biz? Thanks for jumping in, man.
Yeah.
He was on last week too, guys. So if
Yeah.
you didn't have a chance, that was a great stream.
That was a
because
fun
we went,
stream,
We
too.
went deep
Yeah.
into like KK
Conspiracies on
conspiracy,
target.
but also it was kind of more Bob Iger conspiracies. And we actually laid out some evidence to show that that dude is not as good as people might think he is.
Yeah.
But we didn't totally absolve KK. I'm just saying right now that we didn't absolve KK,
Yeah.
but we did make some good and valid points to show that maybe there's more to the Dark Lord himself, Iger, than meets the eye.
And
It's possible.
Bergman, yeah.
He might be a
and
Transformer.
Birdman.
And Bergman. And Bergman. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, thank you everybody for being here with us tonight. We're excited to get into this. And did they answer the question?
Yeah, do you want to read a few
Hunter
more
said,
off, Dan?
"Bombad Jedi Jar Jar stands a chance."
Yeah.
I think. I said emphatically no, but Hunter, you
Wow.
might have a point.
Bombad Jedi.
That when Bombad Jedi comes in, it's a possibility. Now, Skylark, as well as some other people, said, "Now, if it were Darth Jar Jar,
That's another
now
option.
we're in a different realm." What do
And
you think?
with that question, I'm gonna ask Joe.
Uh-huh.
Do you like regular Jar Jar or Darth Jar Jar better?
I kind of subscribe to the fact that they may be one and the same. I mean, I'm not against the theory. I'm gonna say that because there's some great videos out there that kind of break it all down. A little suspicious. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure about Jar Jar. It could be Darth Jar Jar all along.
Dude, yeah, I agree. I actually really like those conspiracies too, because I'm like, how crazy would it have been? Like the whole time, like as a child, especially, you kind of grow up with those films in some ways, and you're like, oh yeah, he's like the funny character, and then like he turns at the end, is Plagueis. You're just like, what? Like that. I feel like it might have messed up a few kids, and that's probably why he didn't do it. But like even Ahmed Best said that there was scenes where he filmed with the guy who played Papa Palps. Where they were talking about things. And technically, Jar Jar did hand over ultimate power to Papa Palps.
Mm-hmm.
So there's it makes sense in a lot of ways. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm not against it. It's all
okay, that's good. I like that answer. That's a fair answer.
Yeah, I think it's there's still room for any of these, but Matt agreed with me. The answer's still no. You couldn't defeat any version of Thrawn. Doesn't matter. He's the one that asked, "Are we dealing with Dad Bod Thrawn? Are we dealing with blah blah?"
Right.
But I think he was just gaslighting us because he was going to say no anyway.
Pretty much. That's what Matt does.
That's what-
Matt Roastman, right?
Yeah, Matt Roastman
Matt
sometimes.
Roastman. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah.
yeah.
He will get you. He will come for you.
Yeah.
So will Hunter too. They'll hit you. Watch out.
We have a lot of Sith Lords here.
We do.
Jar Jar, Joe, just so you know.
We're dodging shots all the time.
Yeah, I'll be careful.
Yeah. Good. All right, cool. Well, we got lots more to talk about in the show.
Do you want to answer the other pre-show
Thank
poll
you.
real fast?
I knew I was going to
Yeah.
forget about
No
that.
worries.
Go ahead, fact checker. What's the pre-show? What was the question again?
Yeah, the question was, what Stay on Target crew members use Gungan to communicate after watching The Phantom Menace?
What was the majority answer?
Is Dan and Dustin at 64%,
Oh man.
and 29% saying Dan and fact checker, and then 7% saying Dustin and fact checker.
Wow. They know us well.
I think so.
You should have put an option with Joe on there.
Oh, shoot. I should have.
Well,
Oh,
Did
man.
Joe, or just put Joe at the bottom? Did Joe speak Gungan after watching the movies?
That's a good question.
Actually, did you?
Yeah.
All my life now.
Great answer. Great answer. Yeah, I know
Oh,
that
yeah.
there's a funny story behind that. You want to give the correct answer, fact checker?
Yeah, Gonkers are always right. So
The Gonkers
yes,
are always
Dan
right.
and Dustin were the Gungan
They-
speakers in the family.
it's like they read our mail.
Yeah, they always know us. They're always right. They know us. They know us better than we know ourselves.
Man,
Yeah, they do.
it's true.
The funniest thing about that, though, the story behind that is because, yeah, we obviously watched it when we were kids and we were just being goofy and speaking, and Gungan was a funny thing to do as a child. But we did it so much, so often. And my mom, was our mom or dad sat us down and they were like,
Dad.
you guys need to stop talking this way because people are going to think that you're like legitimately handicapped.
Yeah. I think we kept doing it like in the store and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
that was it. Yeah,
You
like in
know.
public.
I mean, I guess.
Because he was afraid. They were afraid that people were going to think we had like a speech impediment or
Yeah.
like, or
There
I
was-
don't know.
I mean,
There
there
was-
was barely anyone at the time who hadn't seen the movie. I feel like.
Yeah,
they
would've- that's
you
what we
probably
were
weren't,
like.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't too
we-
out there.
We did. I think we pushed back and then we got in trouble.
Yeah, we did.
We tried to make an argument, a case for it, but it just didn't work.
No, but when you're going up against Thrawn,
When you're going up against which version?
when the Gungans go against Thrawn, it doesn't end well.
I don't know. I mean, if Thrawn were involved in that fight, I don't think they would have won. I
Right.
don't think the Gungans would have come out ahead. But then again, it was Anakin who was on the call, so Maybe Anakin could have taken down Thrawn. Maybe that's a better question.
That is a good question for sure. Well, I mean, there is some precedence. There is some precedence to Anakin and Thrawn. So, and some of the books that he came up with, Thrawn Ascendancy series, some of the other ones. So, and also Luke. He also went up against Luke and Heir to the Empire, which is a great segue into the interview time that we're going to have with Jar Jar here. Joe, sorry,
Right.
I
Hey,
Joe.
whatever comes out, it's all good.
I'm just so used to saying Jar Jar now. It's going to be hard for me. No, no,
Yeah,
Joe.
That's fine.
Well, that's a great one. Let's start with that one. Where did you get your the title of your channel? The name.
Oh,
Sorry, I can speak.
I use the word jargon like an abnormal amount of times. I just use it in like everyday language, and so when I was coming up with the name, I don't know, it just worked. Jar Jar, jargon. It was me, so
Yeah.
it just fit and
Right.
rolled off the tongue.
Yeah, sometimes that it comes naturally and it works. And you have the alliteration. We do love alliteration here. It's fun and it's easier to remember. So I do really like your channel name. Plus, I liked Jar Jar growing up too, and I found him hilarious. So.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for Phantom Menace. It was like my first Star Wars movie in theaters. So
Yep. Same.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. That's so cool. I know it's so nostalgic for me. I mean, I understand a lot of people's gripes about it now that I'm older, but like as a kid growing up on the original trilogy and then being able to see it in theaters, like nothing beat it. Especially that fight at the end, man. That was nuts.
Well, and I think we benefit. Yeah, I think we benefited from seeing it on VHS in the 90s and then instantly being hyped about the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
people that saw it in the 70s and
Right.
80s had a long time to wait, way longer than we did, but we were
Yeah.
kids in the 90s and we saw them and we would just watch them on repeat until they came, until the prequel came out.
Yeah.
So we were definitely hyped in a
Yeah,
childlike
it sounds like
way.
we all lived the same life, basically. I had that special edition VHS box set,
Yep.
and I wore those tapes out, I'm sure. And then, of course, 99 rolls around and that movie's in theaters. And it's like, that was my first kind of experience with Star Wars on the big screen. And as I'm older, I'm like, okay, this movie's not that good, but but I still love it. So it's one of those things I'll just, it's a comfort movie. I'll turn it on anytime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anytime, like back in the day when it was just running on TV, if I was flipping through channels, I was always going to watch anything Star Wars that came up. But my point with the prequels in a lot of ways is people like to give it a hard time, but I always say the story is still there. I think if you have still a compelling and good story, it might lack some execution in how you tell that story. I think that's why the prequels really live on and the originals as well, because you can get over some of the other nitpicks or some of the other areas that just weren't as solid, but the story is still there, and that's why I think we still are drawn to it. But anyway, sorry, that's a little bit of a tangent there, but yeah,
I agree completely. I mean, it's got that overarching Anakin fall and everything, and for that reason it works. Whether he's cringy or not in episode 2, it doesn't matter to me. I think the overall story just works. And, when you throw in the Clone Wars and stuff like that, it actually strengthens it even more. So, and we don't really have that for some of these later movies, unfortunately.
Right. And that's always been my take personally with the sequels is they look really good, like film wise and the way they executed a lot of stuff, but the story just wasn't there for me. The character arcs and stuff like that. How do you feel about the sequels? I know that's kind of a loaded question, but you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But what do you think?
Oh no, I'm pretty outspoken about them on
Okay.
my channel. I mean, I am like the number one like Last Jedi hater still to this day.
Really?
Like,
you started the Phantom Menace?
I didn't start it, but I definitely hopped on board because I don't know, man. Luke, the way that they treated him, the way that they took his character, it doesn't make sense to me to this day. And I know some people have tried to justify it, by saying that he showed flashes the dark side in Return of the Jedi, which is just absurd. So I don't know. I don't like it. I'll never like it. I don't think there's anything that could make me like it. But I've tossed around some theories of like, maybe he could be on the island for this reason and that reason. And maybe, I like, we've talked about this too in the past, but not on your channel, obviously, but my theory of regarding like, if Starfighter is about Luke's child that has been hidden for some reason or another, I might start to come around a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not like fully like, yeah, that'll do it for me.
Right. No, that's fair. I think they're going to have a hard time convincing, because it's difficult to retroactively make something that's that divisive and bad, in my opinion, as well, to be good. And also, you shouldn't have to add other content to make what you already made good, to make sense. I mean, you've already failed, in my opinion. But yes, if you can possibly give us some reasons, it will at least possibly soften it in my mind to how bad it is, to give reasons behind things. Because the reasons they gave us, and that's why the story is just not so compelling, is just like, doesn't even make sense for the character. I know a lot of people have different arguments on that. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. No, I'm just kidding.
In the beginning, you liked it, but I think that was more from a film editing.
From a filmmaking
Yeah,
perspective,
filmmaking
I
perspective.
appreciate it. I love Ryan Johnson's like cinematography and the way
Yes.
that they shot it. I of course obsess over the music, and the look of it all was just, was set apart from The Force Awakens, from a just from a movie making aesthetic.
Yeah.
I digest
Good looking
this.
movie.
Yeah, it's a
for
good looking
sure.
movie,
Yeah.
good sounding movie. And it had a few moments in it that like made you sit back, that, for me at the time was actually like, okay. But I gave it a pass because I'm like, well, maybe the final movie will undo some of the
Yeah,
crap.
that's true. That's a good
So I
point.
was waiting for the Rise of Skywalker before I made my final judgment. So I was trying to hold on to hope. And then the Rise of Skywalker came out. And then I was like, no. What was that?
Yeah.
So maybe something, if what you say is true, Jar Jar or Joe, that maybe there's some hope for the next movie redeeming a little bit, or some, there's missing pieces. Maybe I could come around.
Yeah, and that's actually, we brought up your channel a little while back because of that video that you made. I really love that video where you were talking about Mara Jade and possibly Luke's son, and to the point of everything, it kind of comes down to the fans sometimes creating a better story to make it make sense. I feel like
I
us
know.
as
We're all
fans,
trying to make sense of it.
we're
right?
trying to make sense of it. And I really liked your take, and I feel like that might be the way they go. But I think you were one of the first ones to come out with it. That's why I really liked your channel and your take on it. Do you still think that's going to be the case for that movie, for Starfighter?
Yeah, the more I hear about it, the more I do believe it's headed that direction. Now, whether or not it's Mara Jade, up for debate, but they did cast a
Right.
redhead. I do think it's Luke's child, no matter what, or possibly Han and Leia's maybe have another child that they hid from Ben or something like that. But the kid is going to be related to the Skywalkers. I'm pretty sure, because it's like the only way we could move past Episode 9. Otherwise. And yes, it's a total retcon, right? So it's like, it doesn't really fix episode 8 and episode 9,
Yeah.
but it allows us to move forward and say, okay, we messed up. Here's like a
Right.
little bit of a fix, and we're going to just move forward. We're going to move into the future now, which I think that would at least allow me to say, and I'm on board. Let's see where you take this.
Yeah, because of how it ended, really, at the end of the day, the worst part for me was, well, A, how they treated the original characters. I despise that. And then also the character arc, even of Rey, was just annoying. She was a good actress. Honestly, I liked what she did. And I liked her as an actor doing that portrayal, but they just didn't give her an arc. And I wanted to see more.
Right.
And we didn't really learn much. I feel like George always had some sort of lesson that was being learned in his films, whereas I just didn't get lessons so much in the sequel trilogy, kind of to the point. I don't mean to keep hammering that home. But speaking of sequel trilogies and moving forward, I think now would actually be a great time. What do you think about the hunt for Ben Solo, now that we're already kind of close to the
KG
topic?
said, and how they treated Ben Solo. So it all kind of connects a little bit.
Oh no, it does. And I'm definitely of the opinion that they shouldn't have killed Ben Solo, right? Because it would have been way more interesting if Rey didn't survive. And I'm not a Rey hater. Like, I think Daisy was fine. I don't really think she ruined the movies. I just don't think she was interesting enough.
Yeah. exactly.
like you said. So,
Right,
but I
yeah.
did think Ben Solo could have had a really interesting story if he came back to the light and his parents are gone, Rey's gone, Luke's gone, and he's got to deal with that now.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But no, they killed him too. It's like, I don't understand. But I'm not also like, oh, let's revive him. Let's revive yet another dead character. I mean, Maul was dead once upon a time. Boba Fett, Ahsoka was dead once upon a time.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like they just Ventress. I mean, you name it. They just keep reviving all these characters, and I'm kind of like, it takes away all the stakes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's very valid. It's starting to become more of a trope than it is like
actual story
point. Yeah.
Right.
Which I think other franchises have fallen into that trap too, because you lose the weight. To your point, you really lose the weight of losing somebody. Like if well, they're just gonna bring him back, so why should we care?
Right.
So yeah, that's a great point, and also why you could understand why they chose not to greenlight the film of The Hunt for Ben Solo.
Yeah.
So
I think it's totally justified that Iger shut it down, because they can't get into this like mode of like, okay, everyone we kill off, every mistake we made, we're gonna undo it in the next movie. Like 9 just undid everything that 8 did, and if they make Starfighter about a Skywalker child, it kind of undoes everything 9 did. They can't just bring Ben Solo back too. It's just it's getting outrageous at some point.
Yeah, and it makes the universe smaller in a lot of ways. It makes it just, I don't know, like that's develops some new characters too along the way. That's what George was so good about with his Star Wars, was almost every character he put on screen, there's like a backstory for, because he inspired our imagination to like dig deep. You're like, oh, that's a cool looking character. I mean, even Boba Fett was like barely in it, and everybody was like, who is that guy? You know? They're like, he's the coolest ever, So it was more the fans than it was even George, which is funny, but he just inspires imagination with that. So, all right, well, that's interesting. So you don't think The Hunt for Ben Solo should have been greenlit? No, that's totally fair.
Shut it down.
You think Iger made the right call on that one?
I do.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. Yeah. I was torn about it just for the fact that, like, if we're going to get more sequel stuff, I was like, he is the most interesting character. And like Dan and I said, he was like those like 60 seconds, I think Dan said, was like our favorite part of almost the whole entire sequel trilogy, because you're like, oh, we get to see a Skywalker do something cool. He came to the light side and he was likable. Like in those last few minutes, he was actually likable, and he fit the Han Solo Skywalker situation that we wanted to see. Like,
it was a perfect blending.
It was
of Han Solo and Luke Skywalker or Anakin, and I was like, wild. And that, when I remember thinking after the movie, like that was the only part that I was, that he did like the shrug.
Yes.
And that was the only part that I kept
shrug
playing in my head, that I was like, actually kind of like that guy, and then I just remember thinking like, that was such a shame that he kissed and left.
Yeah, that was so silly. The funny thing is,
whatever.
I was watching that with Nick, and we like totally called every single thing that
just
happened.
That part was what you were watching with Nick.
No,
we were watching
the whole. No, during the movie, we like it premiered. When it premiered, we were in theater, and like we just like we're like, oh, this happens. And we called it. I was like, oh, they're gonna die. Or I was like, I forget which one said which, but they're like, oh, they're gonna kiss, and then he's like, he's gonna die. That's like exactly what happened. We were like, oh my gosh, wow.
My question is, but not to get us off on a tangent.
Here we go.
If it's shelved, is it forever shelved, The Hunt for Ben Solo, or is there ever a time that script and that thing that's not greenlit now could be like in 10 years?
That's a good point. KG asked the same thing, or kind of
really?
said the same thing. At the time, it may have been the right call.
Because you said something about like it was
yet.
already done. Like it was done in the can. Like they had the whole script polished and
they were ready to go.
Yeah, or like approximately. I mean, like how much it might cost. Right. Kind of. Facts.
They had $600
million.
They were presenting a full package to Bob Iger.
Okay.
And the other guy
Bergman.
that always
Bergman.
Alan Bergman. Sorry. But yeah,
never mind.
And the crazy thing too, nobody's ever really gone there. That actually made it to Times Square. That was some news that just dropped recently, that they actually had that line up in Times Square. And also somebody flew
Billboard.
a plane with a sign that said, what did it say? I forget what it says now. It was something
Let's see if I
about
can play it.
the hunt
not
for-
play it, but I've got it on here. So
yeah. So that was some of the news that dropped recently, and we're just like, what? But yeah, that's it right there. That's in Times Square.
It's a billboard.
It almost
Yeah.
makes me think more and more that was this not planned? Are they trying to revive
Tease.
it? Are they trying to get fan interest in this?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, they could be trying to just stir the pot or whatever, get people talking about it so that they can gauge interest. I don't know, man. I'm like, I just think it's not necessary, but I'm with you guys that he was probably the best character in the sequels, if not for sure the best character in the sequels. And it would have been nice to see more of him, but like at this point, do I really want more sequel stories, or I just want to move on? And I think I just want to move on. I think I'm just done with sequels, man. I don't want to stay in this time period anymore.
Right. I don't think we ever could have guessed that for the type of content you've been putting out on your channel recently. And speaking of your content on your channel, you've been doing more EU stuff. And not one of the first things, I've seen you around for a while, but the thing I was really excited about on your channel was your Heir to the Empire. You did the trailer first, and then you did the full thing. But I loved it because I'm like, yes, finally somebody is making this that I can watch. Like that's been something I've been shouting from the rooftops for so long. There's this channel right there. And right now, while we're here, guys, everybody in the chat, go and like and subscribe to his channel. He has excellent content, obviously. Super great stuff over there.
Ooh,
and,
I don't know. Oh, bummer.
Boom,
Oh,
we're there.
Now we're good.
Now we're there.
What a loser.
But yes, like and subscribe his channel. You will not be disappointed. It's awesome content over there. Breaking news and everything. It's great stuff.
All of the Disney Plus. I mean, you've covered every show, I'm pretty sure, on Disney Plus, just about.
Yeah, to some degree.
To some degree.
It depends on how often I'm posting about it. Skeleton Crew, probably I posted like maybe one video about it. And,
Yeah. But you covered it.
Some of them get a little more love than the others, but I try to cover everything to some degree, at least talk about everything, and mostly just working on fan films and stuff like that, though, is probably where I have the most fun and spend the most time offline doing fan film stuff. So, which I know you guys are no stranger to fan films either. So.
Yeah, but different quality and caliber, I'd say. No, but what got you into? What made you want to start making these fan film trailers and videos?
The sequels. No.
My hatred for the sequels.
Yeah, I'm
Flipping
just
that.
mostly like,
That's great.
clearly Disney's going to do their own thing, and they're going to go and tell their stories that they want to tell. But all these great stories exist still in the old EU. And if you guys haven't read them, if you haven't listened to the audiobooks, do something, read the comics, just expose yourself to some of these stories, especially like the post Return of the Jedi stories, and you'll see just how good we had it. So, my thought was like, Disney should be animating this and put it on, Disney Plus or something, as like maybe with the Legends banner. And DC does it, on HBO, there's a bunch of DC animated movies that are like not part of the DCU, but they are like part of the comic series. And Marvel does it with like X-Men 97, things like that. So I want Star Wars to do that with Legends, is basically what I want them to do. So I was like, screw it. I'm going to work with some people and try to put some concept trailers together, which you've seen the trailer, and then experimented with AI a little bit, and did, the long form one with a bunch of voice actors and stuff. And that was pretty fun. And then we just did the other hand drawn one for NJO. And they're really just like, I'm just trying to put like visual concepts out there for like, we could get this if Disney just wanted to put a little bit of money forward, because it like 2D animation is not expensive. Visions just came out today. There's like 8 episodes in there, all 2D animated. So Disney's paying this money for non-canon stories. They're just not EU stories. We could focus on them a little bit more, and it would be amazing.
No, I'm right there with you. And that's why I loved your proof of concept videos. And that's why I was so interested in your channel and what you were doing over there. I was like, yes, this dude gets it. I was like, he understands. I think the reason, at least in my mind, I'm like, why haven't they done that? To your point. I mean, that it just makes perfect sense. You had, when they killed the EU, it was so frustrating for me. I was like, okay, I get it. They want to do their own thing. The EU can get a little all over the place with things and be difficult to follow. So I get that it'd be hard to pick and choose. But at the same time, Marvel was already doing that with a bunch of stuff. And they were able to make some really cohesive stories, at least earlier on. I don't know about the later stuff as much now. But that is a great point. And I think the reason they don't do it is because it would far exceed everything they've done to this point in Disney Star Wars. If they actually did that and made animated stuff from the EU, I think the numbers would go crazy. I think people would absolutely love it. It would make money. I know it would make money because you already have a built-in fan base. Plus, they're actually good stories, tried and true stories that people love and have had them for decades now. So it just makes sense. I am always just blown away. Why would they not do that?
Yeah.
Do you not want money?
I know, and I just don't understand it because you're right. It's like a pot of gold that they're just unwilling to touch, and it's like they're trying to completely ignore the EU on one side, but the other timeline exists. There's no like undoing it. You go on Wikipedia or Wikipedia or whatever.
Right.
There's two timelines, right? You click canon or legends, and it exists. They can't get rid of it no matter what they do. And there's lots of people love these characters and they want to see more stories with these characters. And this is a way to do it on the cheap and get some goodwill from the fans. But I don't know. They won't touch it. Eventually they will. I would be a betting man that they would eventually do this. Something's going to happen down the road and they're going to say, you know what? Let's go to that, that library of books and start adapting some of that stuff.
Yeah, once they exhaust all the other options, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. They will have no other choice. I think to just go back to tried and true content that's in Star Wars.
Well, it's already got a fan base, like you said. So
yeah, that's why. Back. So yeah, speaking of Heir to the Empire, though specifically, I know you like it, and should they not have just made that the sequel trilogy, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would have been fine if they adapted it in some way, right? I don't think they could have done a 1-for-1 because Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, they were all too old to just straight in go to Heir to the Empire at that point. But I would have been totally fine if they brought in Thrawn as like this warlord, coming from wherever, and brought in the newer, younger cast and tried to like adapt the story in some way there, which is basically what Marvel did all along with, going all the way up to Endgame and Infinity War and stuff. They took like old comic stories and they just adapted them, just changed them slightly to fit their narrative and, bring in all the characters they wanted to bring in. That was the blueprint, I think, that Lucasfilm really failed to do, is to, a light adaptation. Right. Now they're doing it with Dave, but and whatever's happening with Ahsoka, but we are getting some elements of Heir to the Empire there. But now it's the question of like, okay, is it going to be an Heir to the Empire movie? Are we going to get Talon Card and Mark Jade and I don't know, whoever else shows up in that, Jorah Sabaoth,
Yeah. And then the other question, even additionally to that, is do we want them to do it with their track record of how they've handled characters in Star Wars? I mean, to be fair, to be completely honest about it, sometimes they bring in these characters and you're like, Dad bod Thrawn, or
hashtag not my Ezra.
Yeah, hashtag not my Ezra. Well, that was even their own stuff. That was even Legends.
That's true. That was weird.
I didn't even get that right.
These characters,
it's like they messed up their own version.
He couldn't even do it, and he's the same guy who made that.
I think we should make another fan film with our characters, Dustin, but we're totally different than we were in the first.
Yeah, exactly.
Films. We're just completely flipped and like, I don't know. We didn't have that much personality in the first three, but I mean, Maybe we're actually good with lightsabers.
No, we just need to bring Taylor back in, and then
Yeah.
she will be the main character. and
That's
be
it, yeah.
Extra good at everything.
That's right.
And
And we'll
just
just
tell us
stand
off.
by and
Girl boss. That's what we need. But yeah, I guess there's some good questions here in the chat as well. There was one Tamerkins was asking, does Disney have the rights to Legends though?
I just looked it up.
She fact checked or just
Whoa,
fact checked it?
We're actually on point tonight. Jar Jar is making us professionals in somewhat tonight.
We do this every week,
Yeah,
Dustin.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on, don't-
sorry.
don't give
I'm
it
not
away.
good at selling us. What's the answer though, fact checker?
No, Disney does not own the rights to old Star Wars Legends.
They don't?
No, because they decanonized upon acquiring Lucasfilm. They own the rights to the new Star Wars stories, characters in the original 1977 movie and its immediate sequels, but it created a new official canon by removing the old expanded universe from continuity.
But
So they actually sell Legends books still under the Legends banner, right?
Yeah.
You've seen some, like they're re-releasing
Yep.
a lot of them. They do have a Disney, trademark on the back, but supposedly what I've heard, through the grapevine basically is that the issue is about royalties. So I don't know how much of the rights they own. They're able to sell the stories, but supposedly they have to pay royalties to these authors that they don't want to pay.
So
and
that's why.
part of
Yeah.
the issue.
KG
That's
says
more what it is.
individual authors, maybe? Is that the problem?
Yeah, I think that's part of the issue here is that there's so many authors in the EU that they would have to, if they started adapting this stuff, they have to start handing out checks to like all these people. It's not something that they want to do, supposedly.
You get a check, and you get $1 million back pay check for us using this and that. Yeah.
Well, how did they do
Right.
that with Marvel then, with all the comics and stuff like
Well, it
that?
was only 2 dudes, wasn't it?
I
I mean,
I
yeah,
guess.
Stan Lee created almost all of them.
That's true.
He's like, I don't need the money. Just put me in every movie until I pass away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they're like, all right, we can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, so I guess I can understand why they wouldn't a little bit more now because of that. But I mean, you're Disney and it's a proven,
Figure it out.
yeah, it's a proven thing. Like you're going to make money off it.
Right.
I mean,
it's not like it's not going to turn a profit. That's the crazy part.
right.
Yeah.
Even if you're paying these authors.
Yep. And it's gold. I mean, it's just gold. If Disney could get the rights to the Lord of the Rings, do you think they would? Even though they would have to pay somebody or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They would.
They would.
They could make $1 billion, another $2 billion, $10 billion, although I'm glad they don't, but
Yeah. Right.
something.
Ugh, yeah, I know. So that's interesting. Okay. Thank you, fact checker, for
Yep.
looking that up and Joe for clarifying.
And
on some
Bismo
of the-
for dropping some shade.
Yeah, wait, fact checker did her job finally.
Someone calling Omega is another
Oh
comment. I
wow,
saw.
feeling the love.
Did
This
someone
is
yeah.
not
say
hashtag
Omega?
protect the fact checker
I
night.
know,
Apparently,
I
usually the
know.
chat is all for the fact checker.
And I
Good
got called
turn.
out for what was wrong with Ezra, or maybe it's not
That's
just
right,
me,
man.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean Ezra he just wasn't.
Our opinion
He looked
of
fine.
Ezra.
He looked fine. I just didn't think he stood up like he should have initially. Right, first go around, you haven't seen her in 10 years. And then you're going to like kind of not use your lightsaber or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I missed something. Like, obviously we missed you for 10 years,
I think-
but like,
Dave missed something. Character development, I think, is what he meant.
I think a lot got cut out or I don't know. It just felt rushed. So that's what it was. It wasn't
Yeah,
as,
those
it
last
wasn't
three
as
episodes were
really rushed.
really rushed with Thrawn and everything.
Yeah,
it
did
was painful.
have any time to develop. And one of the concerning things I heard was that he wasn't really talking with Timothy Zahn when it comes to
Right.
Heir to the Empire, right? Did you hear the same thing, Joe?
There was an interview that Timothy Zahn did, like, I want to say it was like 3 weeks ago or something like that. And someone asked him, hey, have you done any consulting, with Dave Filoni for Ahsoka or anything like that? He's like, unfortunately, they don't reach out to me at all. So it's like, they're just doing their own thing. They got Thrawn and they're just taking him wherever they want him. So, and I would love for them to actually, talk to Zahn about it because he created him. He knows how to write them best. I mean, he wrote
Right.
9 Thrawn novels now.
Now, and the crazy thing about it is like he's already in their wheelhouse now because he's created actually canon content and with Thrawn in there.
Right.
So he's already played ball with Disney. They already are paying him royalties for stuff. Why would you not reach out to the guy who made him? Like, Can you help us? Do you think this is how Thrawn would actually act in this situation? Do you have maybe a better idea, or like shoot us some ideas? We want to make sure this fits and feels real to the audience that loves this character. That's so silly to me. Like, at least throw him a bone every once in a while.
Bismo said that matches what Zahn told him directly and indirectly at the TCC.
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, that was so cool. Yeah, twice. Yeah. So Bismo actually got to meet him and talk to him about that. And that's what obviously he had to be careful in what he said, Timothy Zahn. But yeah, that was crazy to me back then. Still crazy to me now that he's even openly saying that. I mean, can be a little dangerous territory.
But if it's true, if he's got no NDA, they've never talked to him, they've never,
they still got to pay him royalties.
Yeah, they got to pay him royalties. Well,
depending on the contract, I don't know. Maybe they wrote up some other contract. They're like, look, we're gonna buy your character off you for. And
I bet they did when they commissioned the 6 additional novels. I bet they changed that deal. There has to be something there that allowed them to just take Thrawn and do what they wanted, because they don't even have to talk to him about it at all. They don't talk to him about it at all. They don't really tell him what's going to happen. And maybe they're worried about him spoiling something, but like, I'd much rather have him just involved in the show than, put him in the dark.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, yeah, because it's not like Filoni created Thrawn,
right.
And then they're just letting Filoni. It'd be like me taking, I can't even think of an example, but I would never do like, I have no idea. It's just, you wouldn't take somebody else's thing and just be like, I'm just going to do it. I can do it better than them. Why would I talk to them about it?
Right.
That sounds like thievery
and arrogance.
It's like taking Luke Skywalker and like putting him on an island and destroying his Jedi Academy. It's like that.
It's kind of,
and doing that all off screen with not even giving much of a reason why.
It's like buying a certain franchise from a person who created it and then kicking that guy to the curb and never using any of his ideas ever again, or consulting him for the sequel trilogy with all of his characters.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
Bismuth just said too.
It sounds like a constant, a consistent
theme.
Yeah.
Pride comes before the fall, and unfortunately, maybe fortunately, Disney has been falling pretty hard lately with a lot of different things. So this is the perfect time where Disney should be listening to us, should be listening to Joe, Jar Jar, and his trailers and the excitement, the buzz that's got online with people seeing that and being like, yeah, why don't you make this? And your point to why not just 2D animate this stuff? I think that's a great way to get a win back from the fans, get the fans back on board. They're like, oh, well, at least they're doing that. Plus gauge more interest in it. And if it does take off even more so, which I believe it would, then adapt it into a movie or continue the story in a movie. So I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me, a lot of the decisions they've been making. And yeah,
it's baffling.
It's totally baffling. I genuinely think that you could take a hardcore Star Wars fan, put them in charge of Disney Lucasfilm, Disney whatever, and they would make better decisions when it came to the content that to put out, and they would make more money because it would be fans making content for fans, and they would love it. It would be amazing. So it's crazy times we live in.
Yeah,
but
I tend to agree, honestly, but here's my question for you. Why do you think Disney is so bad at making these decisions? Like, what? I just don't believe it's all KK. I'm a big Back to the Future fan, Jurassic Park fan. She was involved with all those movies, and she's a legend when it comes to producing. Fine. I refuse to believe it's all her, but also maybe she's allowing creators to do their own thing maybe too much, and she needs to realize when to like reel it in. Because obviously Tony Gilroy went on his own and made his own thing, and it was, in my opinion, incredible. It felt like an EU story without it being one. It was all fresh. It was all new.
Yeah. No,
but then you get Rian Johnson
in-house.
He can direct a movie, but I'm not sure he can write a Star Wars movie, and that's my issue.
Right.
And wasn't he like sleeping on the couch at Lucasfilm the entire time?
He worked directly
with some of the story group.
With the story group, yeah.
Yeah.
With KK and the story group, from what we've heard.
From what I don't know, but I think you're right. I think he got Maybe he just didn't have enough time. I don't know, but
Yeah,
what a mess.
Like, who do you think is real? I mean, do you think there's one person to blame? Why do you think they're failing to see what fans want and to put that into production?
I don't think there's necessarily one person to blame. It's funny that you brought up KK not being the ultimate bad Sith Lord, because that's exactly what we talked about last week. We really went in deep with a lot of this stuff, and that maybe it's more the upper echelon, which is Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, that are making more of these decisions. But I think it still trickles down. I mean, you still kind of have to be on board with certain decisions that are made. And from what we've heard with KK, it sounded like she loved The Last Jedi. She loved different things. She loved The Acolyte. She also said at one point that there's not source material that we can pull content from, which I was like, what are you talking about?
There's been a few things, a few one-liners.
Right. So
dropped.
those are the things that she's actually said that we know. That's where I hold like, okay, she's definitely still not making the best decisions. But I agree with you. I think it's more of a corporate decision overall, where they're making these decisions based off of money. They're trying to gauge, okay, well, but how can we actually make the most money, thinking that the Star Wars fans are just going to eat anything Star Wars. I think that was the mistake that was made in the beginning, was like, it doesn't matter what we put out, as long as it's got a Star Wars banner on it, we're going to make money. So we're not going to give them what they actually want, because it doesn't matter. But now that they made that decision in the beginning, and they kind of ran with that because they didn't want to pay royalties, they didn't want to follow these other stories or do what George wanted to do. They wanted to do their own thing so they could maximize their profit. I think that has trickled down to the point now that everybody just sees that for what it is. They're like, okay, this is just cash grabs at this point. You're not creating interesting stories anymore. At least not. There are still some, to your point with Andor, and I'm not bashing everything that was made in Disney Star Wars. There are still good moments out there in a lot of it, but overall it's just not growing as a fan base anymore as it was when George owned it. So sorry, Dan, you got something?
No, I was just gonna bring up the word auteur director, because that's what George Lucas was. He didn't go with a committee, be it as high or low. He did bring in some directors for the second and third movie of the trilogy, I suppose. But it was his vision all the way through. And he's in the editing bay with his wife and everything else in the originals. And then he wrote the prequels, and he created Clone Wars, the animated show. And he did all this stuff. And there's no committee. He was the committee. He is the Senate. Right. And so like to then try and break it apart with Disney and be like, okay, this is how we make movies at Disney. We have 60,000 people, and we wait till everyone gives us a thumbs up, and then we go make the movie. It's like, that's not how it's made. And then Tony Gilroy comes in, he's like, I'm going to do it like George did it, and we're going to go disappear in England, and we're not going to tell you what we're doing. We just want a lot of money,
right?
And we're going to make something incredible, and that's what they got. And I don't know, it's that auteur style that when it's done that way, it pays off. When it's a committee, I think it just fails, and I don't think Kennedy knows exactly how that works. And of course, Bob Iger doesn't, because he's the head of Disney, and he is, he's got Marvel to deal with, as we talked about. He's got
that was
parks and all these other things to hash out. And I think Star Wars for him is like on the back burner, even though it's a potential huge moneymaker.
Yeah.
I have heard, there in Iger's book, I think he says something about wanting to get those movies out. Every year they were doing a movie with Force Awakens and Rogue One and Last Jedi, Solo, blah, blah. Which I think, like, in hindsight now, we can all look back and, say, oh, they shouldn't have done that. But yeah, they shouldn't have. But, we were all eager to see Episode 7. What's Episode 7 going to be? But if they had started with something like Andor and built that world a little more, or even something like Mando, post Return of the Jedi, okay, what's the state of the galaxy? Who's this character? We're just kind of, and they build up to that. And now Luke's in it, now Leia's in it, blah, blah. That would have been, I think, a lot better. And it would have built that hype like something like Marvel did over 40 movies or whatever it was,
Right.
I think they could have done that. And in hindsight, they should have. They shouldn't have jumped right to like, okay, let's make Episode 7 because we got to get the Skywalker saga going again, and we need to build that. It's almost like they built all the hype and they used it all up in the first movie, and then it was just after that it was just a downhill decline.
Yeah, they used the hype, but they didn't establish a good baseline to get the fans really excited about the content because everybody wanted to see a new Star Wars movie in theater. It could have been the worst movie ever made, and we all would have seen it just because it was Star Wars and we're getting it in theaters again. But the way that they handled it from there, I think they just saw money signs and they were just like, crank this stuff out as fast as you can. We don't care about the quality. Just make it decent. Get it out. We're going to make our $4 billion, whatever, back in like the first 5 years. And if we do that, then we're good and we don't have to worry about things or something. But then you even hear how much they spent on The Rise of Skywalker and possibly that losing money.
Well, just all the canceling, shutting down the first director and then bringing JJ in and throwing out that whole script and, starting over. And
where does that fault lie? That's a good question too. Is that more with
where,
KK?
I don't know.
Bob?
It should be KK as the producer, but it might be Bob. It's like, I think the story was that the directors didn't get along with Kathleen Kennedy's vision or Lucasfilm's vision, but I don't know. I really don't. I feel like,
whose vision was it?
I don't know. But
Yeah.
Oscar said KK and Gilroy had a history working together, and that's why I think she trusted him to create and pull off Andor, which is a good point.
Yeah.
Because, What's that?
Oh, but then Bismo said.
He said, and what?
Andor.
Well, yeah. His half of the prophecy, I reminded him.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
that's right.
So we have a silly prophecy going. Not silly. It's going to happen. Well, I hope it happens. I guess I should say. Where it was funny. We here on Santa Target, we really loved Andor the first season, and Bismo didn't really like it quite as much as we did, and he really liked Ahsoka. I did not like Ahsoka. For plethora of reasons I won't go into now. But he saw Andor season 2 and he ended up loving that. And so the prophecy is Ahsoka season 2 will be so fantastic that I will like that more than he will.
More than Bismo.
Yeah. Do you have any prophecies like that on your channel?
I loved Andor season 2. I thought Ahsoka season 1 was fine. It wasn't like offensive to me at all or anything,
Right. No, yeah.
I'm to the point where I'll definitely tune in for season 2 to see what happens. But I'm at this point where like the story I care about in Ahsoka is the Thrawn story, which is happening in the other galaxy. I really don't care what Ahsoka and Sabine are doing in this other galaxy. Like it's true. I don't care. I just don't care where that goes. So I'm like, part of me thinks I'm going to be like 50-50 on this season again. That's my prophecy for this season. So I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully the Mando movie comes out and it's like amazing and sets up Ahsoka season 2 so well. And we're all like, oh, I can't wait for Ahsoka season 2. But
yeah. How much do you think the Mando movie's going to make?
Oh. Here we go.
I'm going to say 600 to 700 million.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That's a fair one. Yeah. That's kind of right around the range I was thinking it was going to be. But what do you think
it'll be profitable?
What do you think it's going to make, Dan?
I mean, it has to be.
I saw the video about you.
It's got to be $1 billion, right? It's got to be $1 billion. They've all made $1 billion. Cha-ching. I don't know. I'm just a student of history, and history tells me. What's that?
Do you not remember Solo?
Yeah, but there's caveats there, right? No, I mean, being a student of history, I do remember Solo, and I do remember that Solo came out after The Last Jedi, which sucked, and it destroyed the fan base. This one's coming out 6-7 years after nothing. So it's in the theater. Like, kids that weren't alive in 2019 are now 7, and basically all they've seen is The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
So all of those kids are taken to the theater, are excited enough to get to the theater, and their parents take them, $1 billion is coming your way because if they can market it to the family. That's why I say $1 billion. And 600 to 700 million is more realistic, though. And I think 600 to 700 million would still be a big success for Star Wars. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. The budget's supposedly fairly low on it, like in the 150, 160 million range. So 600 would definitely put it at a significant profit. But I think you're right to a certain degree, right? The families sat around during COVID and watched season 2, and it was like one of the highest watched in terms of Nielsen ratings shows that year. So I definitely think there's a possibility. I'm not going to say it's out of the question. It is Star Wars.
It's
and
a
if they
shot,
nail it,
Yes.
Who knows what kind of characters are going to show up? We don't know. We don't know anything about this movie basically, besides there's a hut in it. So if it
Pizza Hut.
it could shock everybody, and people are going to do repeat viewings and things like that, and it could leg out. I think.
I just like to be controversial, and so you don't have to go. You're saying there's a small chance, and so hey, that gives
There's
me
a Jar Jar's chance.
There's a Jar Jar's
that
chance.
it could defeat Thrawn.
Bombad Jedi coming in hot. He's gonna show up. He's probably still alive at this point.
Yeah.
Did you see Clark's comment?
No, what was
with
that?
The estimate of between 6 and 7 million.
6, 7? Oh my goodness! What are we talking
Classic.
about here?
Oscar
Clark
said,
probably has to hear that all day long. I think he works with kids, so
He works
Oh,
with teenagers, approximately the age of 11 to 15, maybe.
Right, the exact
I've
age.
seen it.
I
I've
don't know
heard
the
it.
age he's working with, but yeah, he probably hears it a lot.
Yeah.
similar to Oscar, who said, "My students are excited for it, not the 6, 7, but the Mando
The
movie."
Mando movie, yeah.
Okay, well, that's a
Yeah,
good point.
I've got some teenagers that I know that are very excited for it, not having seen a Star Wars movie in the theater because they were too young to see The Rise of Skywalker, and they hadn't seen The Last Jedi and blah blah because they weren't alive,
or old
Well, because you're talking about 10-year-olds were 0 when Force Awakens came out. This is math, okay?
enough. Math on target.
So you're talking like, they were 2 when The Last Jedi came out. They were 4. I'm just doing the math here.
You don't have to show the math if you don't want to.
No, it's fine. But they were 4, so they weren't going to see The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker when they were 4. I mean, maybe,
Right.
but they're not going to remember it.
Right.
They were 5 and 6 when Mando came out and Disney Plus, like you said, streaming. And so, I don't know. I just lean into the children, and then it's nothing but Baby Yoda for 7 years, and
Right.
all the toy stores, and every costume, and it is that Baby Yoda is Star Wars to that Generation Z, or what are they? Generation Alpha, So
I don't even
it's
know.
just that's possible, but 6, 7, it's got to be episode 6, episode 7. I don't know.
Yeah,
I hear.
I
all the
think.
time. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yep, exactly.
Junior
I
high,
think.
that's perfect age.
Yeah, you would have had a way better chance if season 3 would have popped off.
Oh, yeah.
and if they wouldn't have undone things for Mando and Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
I think if they would have nailed season 3 and gone a different direction, like I think they were planning, it seemed like a corporate decision is what ruined the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And that I think ultimately has hurt this movie. But there is still, if they nail this movie, to your point, Joe, I think if they nail it, like it has to be on the money, so like fun and exciting, and it gets our imagination going, and I think it has to build to something more, like the Heir to the Empire. I think it really has to build to something, give us something more, not just like a one-off, like this is a fun adventure. Because if they do that, from what we've been hearing, it sounds like it was maybe an Iger decision that they were like, no, make season 4. We want to go back to movies. Make season 4
a movie.
Yeah. And that sounds dangerous to me. And that's also why I think I'm more skeptical about making $1 billion, because it sounds to me, from what all the rumors we've been hearing, is that it's just a long episode. It's like season 4 just got compacted into a movie.
Well, and it wasn't originally planned as a movie. It's like,
right.
How do you do that? How do you just convert a TV show script into a movie? I mean, for all intents and purposes, Mandalorian season 3 probably should have just been a 2-hour movie. Cut
like
all the
retaking
fluff
of Mandalore or something.
Yeah.
And
So
all
it
the other
doesn't,
stuff.
so maybe I think it actually, for that reason, might work in his favor. But maybe not. Maybe not. It's.
I trust Favreau at the end of the day. I do like
Is he
Favreau.
the director?
I think it was a corporate decision. Yes, he's directing it.
Okay.
He has final cut,
And
right?
I think. Hey, I have no idea.
I think he has final
Iger's
cut.
got final cut.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah. Sorry, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's where I'm going. I trust Favreau, and I don't know. I'm slightly optimistic for it. I don't know what it's gonna look like or what it's gonna be. I hope that they raise the stakes though, and it does build to something. I have no idea if it's going to.
Yeah.
Could they implement like Marvel style end credit scene? Because that's what started the hype with Marvel. Like you had to go to the movies because you had to see the end credit scene. Of course, then it started leaking online, and so maybe you don't actually have to go now. But like, it's if they could build, like you said, Dustin, build some kind of momentum out of that into Ahsoka season 2, or it's Thrawn, like, or just some crazy cool scene of like the army or the navy, the Imperial Navy, like back, or I don't know. We saw that in the Rise of Skywalker. Maybe that's not what we need, but you said some really cool imagery.
I think Heir to the Empire would make the most sense. Build into that movie, and then Ahsoka season 2 connects the dots leading up to Heir to the Empire, the movie.
It would never connect to the next Star Wars movie, would it? In 2027?
Not Starfighter. That's
Okay.
the thing that's kind of silly about it, because I mean, maybe, but that's such a big time jump from the Mandalorian Grogu, which is like 6 or 7 years after.
You see like a fully grown baby Yoda in Starfighter.
I mean, that would be. I'm not opposed to that, but I don't know. I don't know how they do that.
I don't know.
You think they could link it there, Joe, to the Starfighter movie?
I don't think they're going to link it all. I do think Ahsoka season 2 though will be the bridge between the Mando movie and Dave's movie,
Cool.
which should be some sort of Heir to the Empire. I don't know what it's going to be though for sure. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, because Filoni actually has made me nervous in past years with some of the content he's made. I used to be like, yeah, Filoni can do no wrong in a lot of ways. But then unfortunately, after I saw Ahsoka, that's whenever I was like, well, wait, hold up. And technically, he is the creative head of Disney, not Disney, of Lucasfilm. He's the creative head of Lucasfilm. So all the decisions of all the shows that have been coming out for years now were approved by him. So
I think that just mostly means like the colors and stuff.
I don't know.
think
I'm not on that train. No, he definitely has a lot more say.
Well, he's got to get it together.
One of the biggest mistakes they made was not handing more to Favreau, because Favreau he was doing the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was going to do that in Disney Plus. When you can see all the marks there for it, because he brought in Boba Fett, and then he wanted to do the Book of Boba, and then they messed that up. I don't even know how they messed that up so bad, minus a few episodes, which were the Mandalorian, but then he was going to do the whole Gina Carano show and the Rangers of the New Republic, and I think they were going to really start tying more together, and then building up to the Heir to the Empire, with Ahsoka being in there as well. It made a lot more sense. But I think, again, corporation, and maybe it was Bob. I mean, really, it could be Bob and Alan Bergman that went in there and they were like, no, we don't want to do that. It's not going to work. We want to get back to movies eventually. It's like, give Favreau what he wants, dude. He's the one who started your whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, really. So give him what he wants. He's a fantastic director. Almost everything he's made when it comes to film is iconic in some way or another.
I didn't like the Jungle Book, and I didn't like the
the
Lion King.
I didn't even watch those, so to be honest, to be fair with you, but more of his original stuff
he's done.
Yes.
Yeah, everything original he's done has been good.
Yeah,
I totally agree though. Favreau definitely should have just stepped away and said, okay, do what you're gonna do, because after Mando season 2, I think the hype was back, after Rise of Skywalker was a disappointment and stuff like that. I think it actually climbed up all the way to again to people being like really excited about Star Wars. And then Book of Boba Fett happens and people are like, wait a second, something feels off here. And season 3 is just, was a disappointment. So yeah, it all came crashing down like so fast in just like a couple of years. So I don't know now. I think Favreau should have had his chance, but maybe it's too late for that.
Right. And a lot of the rumors I've heard was that he wanted to get out after they kind of ruined his ideas. And I think that's why he's doing this Mando and Grogu movie. I feel like in some ways, I mean, it depends on how well it does, but he might just be done with Star Wars after this film. I almost feel like this is his last hurrah. He's just like, all right, I'm going to make this last thing and I'm dipping. Because he doesn't need to do it. He's got his own studio. He's got his own stuff.
Well, it depends on what he's got going with Marvel, too. If Marvel's picking back up again, he might be busy anyway for the next 3 years. Because boy, oh boy, it sounds like Marvel's about to launch again. It's just interesting how Marvel kind of dipped for like 5 years, 4 years-ish.
Yeah.
There were some good movies, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
But while Star Wars was away, and now at the exact same time, Star Wars kind of returns in the movies, like Marvel's coming back. So like, why do they always got to compete? Like, why couldn't we have been filling the gaps with Star Wars movies, and then like they don't have to step on each other? I don't know, because when's the next Marvel? We're not saying a Marvel show, but isn't that 27 or is that 28?
In the next movie?
Yeah, the next big movie.
I'm not even
Doomsday
sure.
comes out next year.
Oh, okay.
I think so,
That'll
too.
Be big.
Yeah, I
That'll
think
be big.
It's December of next year, Doomsday, which
it's
is going to be
December.
huge, obviously.
That's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be huge because you got Robert Downey coming back. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
real. It's because Robert Downey's coming back, and people are going to be over the moon excited.
Well,
to
and
see
if you
him
got
back.
yeah, and you got Favreau probably somewhere in there.
Oh yeah,
I think I saw his name.
You're definitely gonna have Favreau in there if you're bringing back Robert Downey. So yeah, that makes sense. Things are kind of lining up, and we went to a lot of speculation even last week regarding all of this, and even how COVID played into it. How Bob Iger stepped back during COVID, right before, knew it was coming, and then was like, "Oh, I'm back to save everything." Everything went horribly wrong, but. So there's a lot of conspiracy stuff there, a lot of weird stuff that's going on. But let's pivot a little bit here. I did have a few other questions I wanted to ask you.
Before we do,
yeah,
I
go
just
ahead.
had to call out my favorite Dano Dane from Denmark here because I haven't seen him in a while. I know it's like 3 a.m. over there, but they've been, I don't know, the chat's been talking Spanish and English. Now he's going to do Danish. So say something in Danish, Dano.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because
he just did.
That language to me is fascinating, and maybe that's as close to Gungan as we can get.
Yeah, going back to
Can you read what he just said?
Yeah, so this is what he said.
oh my goodness.
That means something.
How would you? That's not phonetical spelling? We were gonna
No, it sounds like I bet whatever that looks like to you, that's not even close to what it sounds like if
Right?
you said it.
because if you
like,
tried to say that,
This looks like vent HVAC with a D, but it has nothing to do
Oh my
with.
goodness.
that's what your mind went.
That's what it looks like.
I was thinking like vent havad.
Well, I've been doing plumbing stuff lately, so
I just go Arnold with it all. Vent
that meant Gungan.
Gunga, yeah, he was just calling because that's what we were saying.
Okay, Gungan. Yeah, I don't know, man, but anyway, howdy.
He's probably like making us swear.
Window equals Vindu.
Yeah, we should just call him Thor from now on.
Yeah, he's Thor. That's awesome.
That's fun.
That's fun. All right, but yeah, no.
Here we
Back to some more
go.
questions for you though, Joe. I did want to ask you this, just because it's an interesting question for any Star Wars fan. But what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, Empire Strikes Back. I'm
Boom.
pretty basic in that regard. It's too good.
It is. That's like you can't even argue that in any way because that film is just so on the money.
Yeah, it's perfect in every way. I mean, I have no complaints about that movie. I mean, I really just all the originals. I love them.
Yep. All right, that's perfect. And then follow up. What is your favorite Star Wars book? That might be a little bit tougher.
Oh, that is tougher. Man. I love The Last Command, which is like the final book in the Thrawn trilogy.
Yes.
So big fan
satisfying.
of that. I also really like Vision of the Future, which is the second book in the Hand of Thrawn duology.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorites too. I'd say one of those. I'm reading through NJO still, the New Jedi Order. I'm like on book 10, I want to say now.
Oh, wow.
So I'm reading through that still, but I kind of will read a book and then I'll read something not Star Wars, and then I'll pick one up again. So maybe one of those one of these days, because I've heard a lot of good things about the end of that series. But yeah, for now, I'd probably say Last Command. Last Command is just epic with that ending with Jorah Sabaoth and Thrawn's end and all that stuff. It's
Yeah,
cool.
dude. I completely agree. I would have to go with that one as well. So great choice. Did you ever make it into does NGL? It's been so long since I've read the NJO stuff. Do they get into Abeloth? Speaking of Ahsoka season 2?
No, that's so that happens in Legacy of the
Okay.
Force, which takes place after NJO. I believe like 10 years after NJO.
Wow.
I haven't read that, so I don't know, but I know a little bit about it.
Right. Yeah, because I was thinking about picking those up again. I never really got into those as well. I know of the character enough, but I never really. It got kind of odd when I started reading that one, and it got pretty odd. And I don't know why I kind of dipped out for a minute when
Yeah.
I was reading so much Star Wars. I had to kind of take a break like you for a minute.
Yeah.
And I just never got back into that one, but I'm thinking about getting back into it before Ahsoka season 2 because it sounds
That
like
might be
they're-
a good. It might be a good one to pick up. For
Yeah.
Ahsoka, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think of them doing that in Ahsoka season 2? Maybe possibly doing the father, the whole.
I like that. I mean, I think that could be cool. The connection with Clone Wars and stuff. I'd be interested to see where it goes. It's I don't have no connection to like that character at all, Abeloth or anything. So I'm like, I'm indifferent. I'm just along for the ride at that point.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Abeloth and with Ahsoka season 2 that I am more curious to see how they handle it is them bringing back Hayden Christensen possibly as the father, and then it feels like the natural pick would be Natalie Portman potentially as Abeloth. And I'm curious to see that. I would actually, because that's the one thing I actually liked about Ahsoka season 1. Not the one thing, I'm sorry, that sounds bad. But one of the things I liked about season 1 of Ahsoka was Hayden Christensen, and they just basically did live action Clone Wars, which I love that.
Yeah, that was cool.
The member berry stuff there worked for me. That actually worked for me. So if you bring Natalie and you get kind of a semi reunion with the two of them through like the Mortis arc and the World Between Worlds, you could play that really nicely and then get fans on board with that. I think you would get a lot of people excited. Would you be excited to see that?
Oh yeah, for that I'd be totally on board. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. What do you think about the World Between Worlds? Just while we're here for a minute, I know I got more questions.
I'm like. With the World Between Worlds, I feel like it was, it's all goes back to like reviving all these dead characters. Like I'm not for it, to be honest. So I think Ahsoka could have just been dead and gone and died at the hands of Vader. Would have been a great story arc for her. So I'm not a huge fan of it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It exists, so we got to deal with it now. And I hope they don't like use it too much as like a plot armor kind of situation.
Yeah, there's a danger there. Like we were talking about with the whole trope of bringing people back. If you just undo any mistake with the World Between Worlds, it starts to really take away.
The hunt for Ben Solo in the World Between Worlds.
That's probably what it was. Honestly, I think that's probably what they were going to go for. I don't know how else they would have done it. Unless they go into like the wills of the Force type situation. And then he's just...
They'd create something new probably just because... They always love doing something new.
I don't know, but Dave is so involved with it. Who knows? He's like, well, I've already created this. We could go into it, But I don't know. And he's a creative lead. But all right, we got some other fun questions here for you.
Americans did say Star Wars Book Club.
Yes.
And didn't see the ending of Last Command coming. So good though.
Yeah, it is really good.
Okay.
Satisfying.
Great.
And that's the thing.
Right.
It depends. It doesn't always matter the first and the second movies. It does, but it depends on how you end.
Right.
For the most part. And that's why for you, Dan, with the Rise of Skywalker, it just did not have that satisfying ending that we all wanted. And if they would have had a more satisfying ending with him turning to the good side and maybe a happy ending, some reunion, something we learned, they had to do something different, that could have really saved that trilogy in a lot of ways. So
the Last Command was, you're saying, was satisfying? Is
it
that
was.
Why you're bringing it?
That's why I'm saying that, yeah.
Very satisfying.
Very satisfying.
And it looked like this is kind of cool just from a chat perspective.
Yeah.
Tony Hernandez
this is really
got to meet at San Antonio Space Con.
Oh, nice.
And take photos with Natasha Lee Bordizzo and Sabine Wren and Ivana Sakno Shinhati. And
that's cool.
He asked about...
that would be cool.
He asked about... Where did he go? Natasha about Ezra Bean. She laughed and said she couldn't talk about season 2.
Oh, wow.
So,
We're getting some insider knowledge here.
That's fascinating, Tony. I'm glad you got to see them. That is so cool.
Definitely.
Laughed and said she couldn't talk about season 2. That's fair. NDAs are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
although, what's his name might have broken an NDA.
Yeah.
And Manis Fondi?
No. For the hunt for Ben Solo.
Ben Solo himself.
That was a bold move. That's what also makes me think that maybe it was a
stunt.
Maybe a ploy, like the whole. We've used this example a lot, but the Deadpool situation where they just happened to leak the footage and it got like millions of views online, and they were like, "See, proof of concept, we could do it." Now it's showing up in Times Square. People are flying a banner. What? I don't know.
They said they were fans, but that's interesting. They flew in New York and then in LA. I'm like, who else is in New York and LA? Film people.
Right.
So it's probably the Hollywood industry that paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the power to pull off these things within 12 hours.
Right. Exactly. Well, we got some other fun questions here. We'll be wrapping it up here shortly, but some from the fans. So here's one from Zarhimoto, which is, what is your favorite breakfast cereal? It wouldn't be a Stay on Target chat if we didn't talk about food at some point.
Can I play the food
Oh,
on Target
man.
stinger?
Yeah,
It's been
play
a
the
while.
food on Target
Okay.
stinger.
Yay,
Boom.
the food
The
stinger.
food, we haven't done that in a while. But what's your favorite cereal?
What a great question. I love cereal, first of all. Big cereal eater over here.
What is we live the same life, it sounds like.
Yeah, I know,
Are
right?
you guys brothers?
We're brothers. We
Here's
are.
one for you that you might not know that well because it's hard to find these days. But Waffle Crisp is my favorite cereal. Do you know it?
Waffle Crisp.
I've had waffle
I'm
crisp.
pretty sure I've had Waffle Crisp in the past.
It was big in its day.
I gotta
Nowadays
see
you
an
can, like,
image of it.
It was like a
only get it at
coyote
Walmart.
dude or something.
Was it the Coyote
Weird.
Dude?
Not the waffle.
I don't think there's a
dude.
coyote. I think there's a
waffle.
It was a waffle dude.
Yeah.
No, it was straight. No, it was. I'm trying to pull it up right
I just
now.
pulled it up. It's a waffle dude.
Pull it up, Dan. Pull up the.
I can't do
Do
that.
it. Oh yeah, dude. I
No,
I
it's
totally.
Just
ate
it's just a
those.
waffle
It
dude.
is just a waffle dude.
Yeah,
Yes.
You open
I
up
guess-
the bag, it
You're
just
thinking of
smells like
cookie
pure
crisp.
syrup.
Okay.
It's amazing. it's great.
There it is.
You're making me hungry for waffle
You can
crisp.
get it at like Walmart only now, and it's still amazing. But
It's
yeah, you just can't find it is the issue. So.
I'm thinking Cookie Crisp.
You're thinking
Oh
Cookie
yeah, that
Crisp.
guy. That is a.
I can't spell.
That's the
guy or
wolf,
what?
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. That's what I was.
And waffle crisp, I think sometimes was too much compared to honeycombs,
Oh.
because it had a similar design, but the waffle crisp
Yes.
is superior in every way.
For sure. A lot more sugar.
A lot more sugar.
That is.
Well, what is that's cereal is just a sugar delivery device.
It is. It's now dessert for me, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't have it nearly as much as I did as a child, but I remember our parents letting me eat like cereal, and if they let me, I would eat it for every meal of the day.
Yes.
It's terrible. To the point where I went over to friends' houses and they like stocked up on cereal before I came over.
Mhm.
That's terrible. Wow. Now that I think about it, wow. What was wrong with me? But yeah, that's a great call, dude. That is a great call. What's everybody else's here real fast? Dan, what was yours? I it's been a
My
while
favorite
since we've answered
cereal?
this. Yeah.
It's for the longest time. It was like when I was
I think
a
I
kid.
know, but
You think you know?
yeah.
Like if I guess now if I had to pick, it would be like a dessert one. You know, like you're
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Like I would
Ooh,
pound
we're
it as
safe.
like a thing. It's like Golden Grams. Like I love Golden
Ooh, yeah,
Grams.
Golden
Oh, yeah.
Just because I can just pound it right out of the box, you know, while I'm driving or whatever. And but like I'm more of like an old man thing. I've been an old man cereal eater since I was younger. We had like you remember like grape nuts? Like I
Yeah.
love grape nuts because mom and dad gave us like you could add sugar on it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I could just dump like 42 grams of sugar. But I still like Cheerios, just plain old Cheerios. Now when you open up a brand new box, you open a brand new box of Cheerios recently?
No.
Well, it smells like gasoline.
No.
Okay, it doesn't
It's
smell like
straight
anything.
petroleum
There's
product.
nothing in it that's like human edible food. But for some reason, when you eat it, you just can't stop eating the plain old Cheerios because it's not like sweet or anything, but something about it, man. Give me some more plain Cheerios. So right now, one of my favorites is plain Cheerios. So
Okay.
what about you, fact checker?
I guess we're related or something because Golden Grams are
Really?
are probably my top favorite.
Italy.
Italy does it. What?
Yep.
So much backstory
But then
there.
secondarily, Honey Nut Cheerios. Although I do
Okay.
like a good plain Cheerio every once in a while.
Right.
Good old one plain.
Yeah.
You can't eat just one.
You can't.
Wow, that's funny. We have a
Lots
lot
of
in common.
good.
Joe, did you think
yeah,
that we were going to
cereals.
talk about cereal on tonight's stream?
I did not. No, that's news to me. So
Hey, this was a fan submitted
It's a
question.
fan submitted question.
You know,
that's great. Yeah,
but
love it.
my favorite is actually the real fast
Yeah,
is
we need to
the
know.
I love the s'mores cereal. It's
How do you say
it's
that?
S'mores. I can never say it right. I always say it wrong.
It's good enough.
S'more.
But that one is really good. I don't know why I
had
love
that.
that one.
That's
In
good.
recent years, I've just been really enjoying that one.
That's
Too much.
awesome.
It's a dessert. It is a dessert.
It's crazy. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got us figured out.
Yeah, they do.
Well, Hunter asked or not asked, but said also cereal is not breakfast unless you count 3 a.m. cereal eating breakfast.
I mean, yeah, it's in the morning. That's fair.
But they have a lot of good cereals too. Do you want to rattle them off real fast?
Yeah, so my go-to is Fruity Pebbles, says Hunter. My old man
yeah.
cereal is Frosted Mini Wheats. yeah, Frosted Mini Wheats, because it's kind of like it's like a whole meal, man. It's like it's filling. You have
That's
like
a whole meal.
like 4 pieces, and you're like, oh, I'm stuffed, but I want more.
I feel like Raisin Bran would be more of a full meal because at least you're getting like
Yeah, that is a good
raisins
one.
with cereal. I
yeah,
don't know.
Sonia, this is a good
Fiber.
one. Reese's Puffs. It looks like there's a new
Ooh.
Wicked movie themed box.
Dude.
I love that. I think they had Star Wars.
She
themed
snuck it in there.
Reese's.
No, if like you do Reese's Puffs, you got to do chocolate milk. That's on a whole nother level, dude.
What?
I'm just saying, if you do chocolate milk with Reese's Puffs, pretty dang
And
good.
get a subscription
Also,
to your
with
dentist
s'mores
office.
too. Yeah, it
I
is.
just remember the rap song that they used to use as the commercial.
Reese's Puffs.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Peanut butter
commercials,
chocolate
dude.
flavor. I mean, it was the whole thing.
Dude, that's been so long since
I
I've heard
know,
that.
right? That's all I remember.
Holy cow! Wow.
Rice Krispies with milk and sugar, the best. I hate Tamerkins. The sound alone, it's a sensory sensation.
We're selling cereal now.
And Dan
If anybody wants to promote your cereal, we'll do it.
Well, I was excited when The Force Awakens came out. I think this transitions into the next question.
I like that. I like where you're going.
And
Thank you.
when they had Star Wars cereal for the first time, it was so exciting.
That was exciting.
Not Star Wars cereal, but you know what I mean, on the box. So, on that bombshell.
The blue milk was fun in
The
recent
blue
years
milk
as
was
well.
fun. Yep, I like Star Wars foods.
But yeah, what's the question you were thinking of?
Well, wasn't there one about something about Force Awakens and?
Oh yeah. No,
Oh.
you're right. You're absolutely
Oh.
right. Another fan submitted question. Speaking to Sonia, she asked for you specifically, Joe, what would be your favorite scenes from either The Force Awakens or Mandalorian season 3? Since these are all your favorites, what are your favorite scenes?
I'll
We got
definitely
this-
take season 3, Shadow Council with Pelion showing up and everything. That was cool.
Ooh, yeah,
for sure. I
Yeah.
actually really like that scene. So yeah,
that
that's what I
was great point. I had forgotten about that. That is an excellent scene. That feels so Heir to the Empire too. You're just
Yeah.
like,
that was cool.
yeah,
Seeing all the warlords and everything. Yeah, I'm a fan. So,
seeing Pelion live action. I actually enjoyed
He
seeing
looked good.
Pelion live action almost more than Thrawn. I know that sounds like
I know.
blasphemy.
He looked like perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was spot on. Even sounded like him.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, thank you. That's
Could
what
you
we
imagine
needed.
if Gilroy had given us a look at Thrawn? I know he wouldn't have fit in that
Oh.
timeline, but just the way he would, like Gilroy would have made him look. He would have looked
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, how smart he would have been.
Well,
And how smart he would have been. Just one line of dialogue would have
Yeah.
it just fits.
I'm saying this is kind of a perfect situation though. You get Gilroy and you get the Thrawn Ascendancies books, and then you get Benedict Cumberbatch to be a young Thrawn. I say that series would hit because then you'd have the intrigue. Tony Gilroy knows how to write that kind of stuff. Good dialogue, good intrigue. You got Thrawn, you got Benedict. I think that is more of a recipe for success if you wanted to have Tony back and bring a fan favorite character with a A-class actor. That would be great. What do you think about that idea? I'm just throwing things out now, but Joe, what do you think about
Oh
that
no, I
idea?
always thought it should have been Benedict Cumberbatch, but
Yeah.
like from even back when they first said he was coming into live action. But unfortunately, we got Lars. Lars is good. He's just not perfect, I'd say. So
Yeah.
His voice is great
I
from
love
the
that
animated,
idea though,
yeah.
getting Gilroy to write him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his voice, yeah, to your point. Lars did a great job with his voice in Rebels, but I just wish I just didn't think they needed to really bring him into not that he was bad, but just didn't feel.
You know what I want them to do now? I want them to go back in the day when they would like have an actor on screen and another person voicing them. I'm ready for that time again, where like the mouth is moving like anime, but like a totally different voice is coming out because the voice is so much better than that human on screen. But the human on screen looks better. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what happened to like silent movies and trans? They're like now we're just gonna give him a random voice.
Going back
and-
to silent movie.
I mean, like, let's use the creativity that we have and let's make the best of what we got. AI now. Surely you could like robotically make them sound like that when they talk.
Don't call me Shirley.
And and don't call me Shirley. I don't know, man. It's Lars's voice is phenomenal, but if Thrawn has to be doing physical things, which I imagine he would, you can't have a older guy doing that.
Right. And the funny thing is that was a big precedence in Star Wars for the Phantom Menace with Maul. That's exactly what they did with Maul.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like they haven't done it before. They could totally do it, but they gave him like 5 lines. So
He was in a hologram, wasn't he?
well, yeah, and one was a hologram, but
That was
he
Solo. He was a hologram.
yeah, hologram there.
That was
And
that was Sam Witwer voicing him, and
Oh, yeah.
whatever
Ray
was
Parks.
the body. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
which was epic. Combo characters. Why not? You can do it. It done right. It's
Well, just
epic.
over the shoulder. You know, you don't have to see their mouth moving all the time.
You just only see this part of Thrawn the whole time. Like every scene is just like never sees his mouth. You're like,
Just reminds me of like Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah, the neighbor.
the neighbor that's over the
whole
fence.
time.
Did you ever watch that that show, Joe?
Oh,
Tim
yeah,
the Toolman
I remember
Taylor
that
with the
one.
neighbor.
Sure.
Thrawn, just like
Yeah.
Oh
eyes
man.
only.
Well, we're getting off the rails here, so we should probably wrap this up. We were gonna do a game with you, but
I do gotta bail, guys.
yeah,
Unfortunately,
no
but,
worries, man. No
Yeah,
worries.
it's been
Well,
fun.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show with us. It was an honor and a privilege, and we'd love to have you back whenever you want to come back. If you want to come back, I don't know. Hopefully, we made a good
Oh
enough
yeah,
impression.
let's do it again for sure, guys. It was a lot of fun. Enjoyed chatting with you again, and yeah, anytime really. I'm pretty available, so I'm always down to do stuff like this. And
Awesome.
Really enjoyed talking with you guys, and your chat is very lively, so which is fun. So,
We had a great chat.
It's been busy.
Yeah,
thanks
we
for
call
having
the-
me, guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, we're just going to wrap up. We're going to go straight into the member stream, though, after this, where we're going to be doing a watch along of season 3 of Visions. So we're going to have a lot of fun over there. If you're not a member yet, join up now. It's less than a candy bar a month. It's a great time. But thank you all for being here with us tonight. Dan, you got anything for us?
That's it, man. Thanks, Jar Jar for coming on. It's been a lot of fun, man. I love listening to your takes.
Yeah,
and now
no
I'm
problem.
thinking you might be more related to Dustin than I am.
I'm thinking the same thing. I think, yeah, you know, we
Yeah,
have,
so-
a lot, we have a lot in common.
have a
This
lot
is
in common.
crazy.
It's crazy.
Also, fact checker, you got anything?
No, I wish I had a Jar Jar quote, but I didn't Google it because the chat's been so fun and busy. But, so yeah, it's been great.
That was the other shoot. I missed that question. I was going to ask him about that. We were going to do next time you're on.
Next
we're going to
time,
do some
next
Jar
time.
Jar trivia with you, and
Yeah,
we're going to
that'll
do
be
some
fun.
Jar
Okay.
Jar quotes. So that'll be in the docket.
Yeah.
But anyway,
For
you got any
sure,
last thoughts before we go, Joe?
No, not at all, man. Thank you guys all for having me once again, and enjoy Visions. It's actually really solid. So I
Sweet.
enjoyed it a lot.
Dude, that's
seen it anyway,
awesome.
yeah.
Jeez.
That's awesome. I like to hear
Yeah.
that because we're
It's
practically
really
of the
good.
same mind, so I know I'm going to like it now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for being on with us again. We can't thank you enough, and we're excited to have you back for the next time. So everybody, again, go like, comment, and subscribe to his channel. Epic stuff over there. He is more of the future of the Star Wars, in my opinion, than what Disney's doing. So definitely check out all of his stuff. It's epic. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being on the show tonight with us. Can't wait to see you guys. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Otherwise, we're going to be jumping to members right after this. Don't forget to always stay on target. No, Misa, stay. Misa, call Jar Jar Binks. Misa, your humble servant. That was terrible. I have not done Jar Jar or Gungan in so long. Gungan. That's what we always used to say. Gungan.
Gungan.